Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. As you can see, I've got the Routemaster bus up here. We're now on pack 12 of the Agora Models release of this. This is the final pack. We're going to have a completed Routemaster. Now I'm going to have to film this completely different, mainly on account that none of my cameras are actually focused on this, so all the cameras are going to be actually on the bus. We're putting lots of panels in, which means we're going to have an abnormal amount of screws, and I'm not going to actually be putting every screw in. In fact, I don't think you're going to see any screwing of screws in. What I am going to do though, is I'm going to have a rolling tally down here, so I know how many screws we've actually used in this pack, because I know it's going to be a lot. But we are going to be finishing the bus today, so I am really looking forward to that. If you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link down here to the Agora Models website. You can get this all the way from pack 1, but let's finish the Routemaster bus. Let's get cracking. I'm surprised any of the cameras are picking this up, but the first thing I need is the little side display board here, which I'm going to get out. And I also need some double-sided tape, which I've got in this pack as well. And that looks just like this. So this plate is going to go in front of this light here. Now I have got some double-sided sticky tape just to put on that light. So I'm going to have one there. I can take this black bit of insulating tape off now that I put on there just to keep that into place. And just one on this side. Remove the adhesive. So I've got some sticky stuck to that LED panel. Just like that. And then that is going to secure to the other side of this. So I'll put that in. Make sure it's straight. Just like that there. And then this is going to be affixed here, just like that, with some screws. Now as you can see, these are black screws, and that's now securely in there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting this panel on here, just like this. Now we've already got these strips here, so this is going to go underneath here like this. And the first thing I'm going to do is attach this panel into place by putting screws in these strips here. So as you can see, that's in like that. All that's left to do now is to put the same sort of strips in, but the ones going down here, here, the coloured ones that are going there, and then the red ones that are going in these positions here. Now I have one more strip to put in. This is a really long strip here. That's just going to go in the holes that we can see along the side, just like that. So I'm going to get this in place. So as you can see, I've done all the screws here, 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 the little ones here, 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 and that strip across the top. All in total, that was 58 screws, but that's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, so in stage 112, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be fitting this panel in here, just like that. I love this London detailing on here, but as you can see down in this section, we've got room for a step, which is just going to go in here, and that's the thing that's going to hold it on initially, and then we're going to be doing exactly the same way, putting all of the strips on these sections here. Now, this step is actually put in with KM screws. They are colour-coded again. So they are red. It's just a longer screw, this one, so might be a bit tricky. But I'll line this up, get the step in, and then secure this into place, which should hopefully hold this panel in place. Now you know you would have put this step in the right way, because it doesn't actually fit flush in there if that was the other way round. So that's in just like that. Now I've got some brackets to put in just into these sections just here. These look like that, and I'm going to put one on each side, actually other way around, so that we can actually put a card into each one. So as you can see, those brackets are in, and now we've just got two plates to put in. First off, the garage number, and that's just going to slot into the top here, just like that. And then the running number here, this one's number 13, it's going next to it, into that panel just there. Now we've got lots of bit of trim to put on here now, so I'm going to do that afterwards, count up the screws, and see how this looks. And there you go. So the plates are in, the steps in, and all of these trim panels and screws are in. Now there are 55 screws in that stage. So that means we're on 103 now, I think that means. 103 screws so far. Let's move on to the next pack. So this leads us swiftly onto the next stage. We've got 103 screws so far, and we're about to put this plate in here, just like this. And just like the other one, we're going to put all the trim panels in and count up how many screws it's going to be to get this in. So I'll come back, we'll see how many we've got. So there you go, that's the whole near side of the bus completed. That's that panel completed. I do like how they have a different colour screw that goes in just where the London Transport sign is. Now on that panel there was 55 screws, so now that brings our total, I believe, to 158 screws so far. But that's the end of that stage. So in stage 114, we're now going to be doing the offside side of the bus, and this will be the first plate that we're putting on at the top there. That's going to go in just like this, and once again it's going to be held in with all of the trim panels. So I'm going to get all of those in, we'll see how this looks. And there you go, that is that panel in, again with all of these strips in place. There was 51 screws that time, so I think we're on 209 now, but that's the end of that stage. Okay, so in stage 115, we've moved down the bus now because we've got this panel going on the back. See, I'm slipping this underneath those trim there. 209 screws. We're about to increase that considerably. So I'm going to put this on, put all this trim in place. So as you can see, that is that one in place. Loads of this trim here. So 51 screws there, add that onto 209, that means we're now on 260 screws, and that's all there is to do in that stage. $260 screws, who would have thought? Next stage we're going to be doing 116, we're going to be putting this plate in. Obviously we need to feed these bits of trim panel again. Just trying to make some leeway for this in there, so this sort of slots in just like that here, and then once again we're going to be putting all of that trim into place. So there you go, that's all in place. We've got the battery cover to put on. I'm not sure what stage we do that on. There was actually 44 screws in that bit, so if my maths is correct, I believe that's now 304. We've got 304, so that was stage 116. Let's move on to stage 117. Now, very similar to how we started this pack, we've got this panel that's going to go down the front here. That's going to go on just like that. But to hold that in initially, we do have another step, which is just going to go in here. So I'm going to put that in with KM screws. So that's in, and then just like last time, we've got these little plates again, which are just going to go in here, and these are held in with NM screws. Now once again, I'll put these plates in. So one there. They do want you to do this later on, but as long as I get the trim behind these plates, it's not going to be a problem. And one there. I'm now going to put the rest of the trim all in place, including the ones that are going around these sections here. Okay, we're on 395 screws altogether now. But that's that panel in place, including we've got this little flap here. I don't know if I can get my foot. I think that's a brilliant little feature there. But that's all in place. The plaques are in place. All of these around here. I think on the last stage as well, I forgot to put this one in as well. I've added that to the screw count, but that's that strip in as well. And that's stage 117 complete. So can you believe this is the last panel to go into place? This is just going to fit on here. And once again, I'm going to do all the trim and stuff like that to get that in. And then that's that side of the bus complete. Everything else is just small details. So let's get this in. So we're on 459 now, 64 in that time, but as you can see, that's all in place, and that is the whole of the side of the bus completed. Excellent. Now, in stage 119, nice quick stage this one. There's only 2 whole stages, the whole build left to do. We've just got the battery cover and also the plate that's going to go on the outside, which is magnetic. So I'll put this on. It's quite simply, that's just going to go in there like that and close up the battery case. And then we've just got the top here, which will fit into position just like that. There is a little pin to put in at the bottom here. Get that in. Just like that. That's in place, and that's all there is to do in that stage. So that means we're now going to be putting the advertisements on the bus, and as you can see here, I've got a cream cracker one, which goes kind of like that there, which I'm just about to put on, and on the other side, I've got Typhoon Tea. I am going to put these on. I was debating whether I want to do that. I want the cream cracker one to be on this side. It actually starts just to the left of that section there. So that's how it's going to fit. And I'm going to use this top brace to line that up. So the way to do this is to take the adhesive off, just like this, and then just fold it really flat there, like that. Line this up, and then slowly make sure it's still aligned at the top there, and gently put this all on. Now I do want it to be apparent that I have got these strips behind this, because on a real bus, that's how that's going to look. But as you can see, that's perfectly good in place. So that's one side. I'm going to do the other side. And there you go. That's the Typhoon Tea side on. Looking good. A few more details now. I do have these little brackets now which need to go on the side of the bus, just in the holes here. They're held in with an EM screw. Both sides, I'll get these in. And then we're just going to put these indicators into position here. And I've got a pin looking like this. Just going to go down the top through both of these. Coming out the bottom. So now that's in place like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. Look how it's almost done. We're on the last stage. So in the last stage here, I am just going to make the near side mirror. Lots of little tiny details in here. And they sort of go together like this. So I've got this small hinge here with a rod on one side, and then I'm closing that off on the other side with this circular base, and it's going to be held together with a CM screw. And now the top arm of this hinge is going to be going in here, and on the other side it's going to be held in by this little bracket here. So when it's done, it should look just like that. I'll show you on this camera. That's quite fiddly. Put the mirror in, which is just an adhesive, it's on this adhesive sheet here, and take the backing off. And there you go, that's the mirror done. So what we just made is just going to go into these 2 holes here, just kind of like that. So I'll get this into position. Got another mirror to make here. So again, I'll just put this rectangular one now into this area just here. This one's mounted slightly easier. It's mounted on the other side using this bracket. And then using that pin there, I've already put that on, some EM screws. We're just going to be putting the mirror into position there with the pin down the top. And once that's in, it means the very last thing on this build is just to put the windscreen wiper in. So what I'm going to do I'm going to take this outside and I'm going to give you a showcase of the finished Routemaster bus. And there you go. What an amazing build. I'll tell you what, that last stage took 5 hours and I can't feel my fingers. So thank God it's the weekend. I can rest my hands now. But I've absolutely loved this build. It's one of my favourite models. And that last picture you just saw there, it's in the old man cave on a shelf at the moment. Not quite sure where I'm actually going to keep it eventually. I'm going to be moving all of that around, but it's no longer in the workshop. But an absolutely brilliant build. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link down here in the video description, and you can get this all the way from pack one. Actually, it's just occurred to me I didn't do the horn and the engine noise, but they all work. Everything works on this model, which was absolutely brilliant for me. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.